Hi everyone, this is Renee from Videos from the Heart, and this is my work in progress video for my entry into Cartoon Animators Animation Network 2023 contest. I am going to put in a production into the commercial business, and I'm using my sweet little HOOT, unique HOOT character that I designed years ago, and he was actually brought to life for me as a 3D character for the Cartoon Animator platform years ago, and I'm going to use him as my narrator in this video. And I also was able to make some of my own very cute characters using one of the new softwares, Make Me an Actor, that Reallusions just came out with. It's a you gotta have software, and when I saw it, I was immediately had to have it. Got yelled at by my husband, but got it anyway. And that's the funny. Now it's a big joke because he's telling me, "Okay, you're gonna turn that into a character. You're gonna turn that into a character." So anyway, you got to have fun when you animate. Anyway, this is going to be my tutorial. I'm going to kind of show you how I set up for a project. I'm going to do a little keyframing. I'm going to also show you the softwares that I'm using to bring this all together. So let's get started. So as you know, I'm using Cartoon Animator 5. That is going to, I'm using a one scene setup here. Okay, there's only going to be one scene, and I mean one project file. Typically, because this is running so short, it's only a minute. If I was going to have, if I had the time, which I don't, I pretty much waited until the last minute. I was contemplating what I was going to put in, and anyway, so I'm kind of waiting until the last minute, but I figured let me do something that I can have in just one file, render right here, and it's ready to go. But typically, sometimes when you're going to work on a project, that could be, you know, more than a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes. You're going to break your project up into different scenes, different project scenes. Anyway, so let me just put this timeline down for a second. In your content right here, okay, what's wonderful about Cartoon Animator 5 is you're allowed to build the subfolders now into these projects right in here. Okay, so I don't have all my, I made a folder for Animation at Work. These were all the different ideas that I was running through to think about what I was going to do for, what's I going to do, a vertical short. I'm working on a animated album cover right now for a blues guitarist, and I was going to actually use it, but it's not done. We're not done with the approvals yet. And anyway, so I decided, you know what? I saw the new software. Like I'm gonna make a business one for Videos from the Heart, and I'm gonna use my new little Thumbprint Characters that I made using that Make Me an Actor software. Okay. So anyway, the file I'm working with in here, and I'll say this was going to be a lesson tutorial where I might need to have maybe 5, 6, or 7 scenes in here. I always set up with a scene setup. I set up everything that I think is going to be in there in one scene, and then I copy it, and then I wind up changing that scene. I'll copy this scene like maybe 3 or 4 times, okay, and always keep this one untouched. And then I'll go into each one of those and modify them for my storyboard. Like, okay, what I'm happening from here to here to here. Of course, you're going to write your script. So the way I start is, all right, let me think of my script. So I wrote out a script for this, okay, and the script that I used, I just followed the thumbprint of an explainer video that you would do for a business or a product or anything that you have. If you want to use this software to sell your own service, a product, your website, whatever. Okay. So you always want to do is, you know, you want to define the problem your product or service solves. You want to introduce your product as the solution. Then you want to describe how your product or service solves a problem and why it's the best solution. And then you want to summarize at the end, and then you want to call to action. So this was my script that I used, that I wrote out, okay, thinking about how I was going to do this. And then the next step was choosing some music that I wanted, okay, and I brought up my Sony Vegas, okay. I picked out some decent music that I thought would work well with this.
Hi everybody, it's me.
And then I recorded my dialogue, okay? This is a soundtrack, and this is a soundtrack. If I wanted to put, one of the reasons why you want to bring your dialogue and your music into another script, into another software to edit, is so that you can bring down levels for the music. Like I could put in envelopes here, but I just brought this all down to the end and, brought it down low, but I could put little envelopes in here. Like if there was going to be a pause where he wasn't talking in here and something was going to be on screen, I could just make an envelope and bring the music back up during that time and then bring it back down when he talks again. So that's one of the reasons why you want to use another software. You don't want to record directly right into Cartoon Animator. Not that you can. I've done it before. If you're doing something short, quick, and, to the point, a few seconds, you can. But I like to use the Sony Vegas. And this is in here right now because I was actually rendering a small part of my video to be an insert in my production. So that's why that is in there. And then I was able to just, shorten it and then render it out so it could go into my production. You'll see it's going to be down the line somewhere. Okay, so so in here I can change. I can do a little pitch change. I can fix, make it sound a little bit better. So I'm using Sony Vegas for sound, okay? And I am using Affinity Photo. I have Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. My Affinity Designer is hooked up to my Cartoon Animator 5 as the editor. But I'm so used to working in Affinity Photo because I'm a photographer and I develop my pictures and stuff in here that I'm just a little bit more familiar with it and I can buzz through it really quick. So I decided I'm gonna throw up my design for my production in here. So I usually set up a file and I design the whole thing that I think that's going to pop in there. All these things are going to be in here. The words, I don't have them all turned on, but I have them turned off just so it looks better in this production. And then I have an oval white, an oval orange. So I make sure that I correctly label each one of these, okay? Because then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to save it as a file. It's going to be my production, okay? If I, like right now, I need these words, lesson and modules, because I'm going to bring them in for this. So let me show you how I do that. So, but this whole thing was saved, real quick, I'm going to show you. I saved this as a Thumbprints letters for, that is? Yes, to be turned into SVGs. Okay, but actually I did that for a couple of these. But I just do all my design, all the words that I need, and then I save it and I can export it as a PSD, okay? And I'm going to do the whole document, and it's going to take all those right here. I'm just going to update it, okay? Back down. That's my background design is really what it is. And then I saved one for words. So I'm just going to save this again. All right. So once I bring this PSD into the software, see, it's coming in as a scene here, and it's going to give me everything that how I labeled it in there. It's going to be labeled that way here, which makes it easier for me to pull that up, find it, okay, and do editing. So this is pretty asset heavy right now, my animation. And typically, my computer runs pretty smooth. So sometimes, depending on your computer, you might choke up a little bit, but we seem to be okay. So these are all the props that I'm handing in. So right now, we're going to go back to that Affinity Photo. Okay, and I'm going to get this lesson, and I'm going to tell this. I want this. I'm just going to take it as a PNG. Okay, I'm going to export this as a PNG, and I want to tell it that I just want this section only. Export, and it's going to pull up here. So I'm just going to go, I know I do all my words. I always label it words, okay, so I can find it easy. And this word is what? Lessons, right? So I'm going to save that because I'm going to import that into the studio. So this wasn't here when I first brought the scene in. So, but I'm going to use it here anyway, just in case something happens. I got to bring in everything together. It'll be there. So I always use one little thing to design stuff, and then, you know, you can hide it, move it around by just turning these little things off. So Affinity Photo is a nice little program, Affinity Designer. I mean, you can pick both of them up for like around $50, and, you know, they're pretty comparable to Photoshop for what, you know, you're doing. Unless, you know, I don't see any real reason for anybody to have Photoshop unless you're heavy duty graphic artist and you're producing some high-end stuff. And you need, you know, you need the muscle of that program for rendering and, you know, exporting and things like that. Sharing files and stuff with a team. Okay, but anyway, so let's X1 this out. But for me and for what I do, it works fine for $50, and I do a lot with it. Okay, so we're going to export, and that's going to be the word modules. Modules. Okay, let's spell that right. Okay. All right, so Affinity Photo or Affinity Designer. Like when I was creating these characters, okay, I was bringing them in Affinity Designer to save them as a SVG. Okay, so I showed you the script. Okay, so I used Word for my script. I'm only showing you an image of it here because I actually took this image because it's actually going to go in my production. So Sony Vegas, Affinity Photo, and Cartoon Animator. So let me also go around with files, okay? So when I'm working on a file, when I think I'm gonna, you know, work on an animation, okay, get my ideas, what, you know, I think the most important thing you need to be is organized. So I have a file set up in my pictures, because most of the things that you're going to be doing for, you know, animation, you're going to be using some graphic design, so you're going to be having images, correct? So in my pictures, I have a folder called animation, okay? And these are just some things that I've worked on, having fun, you know, they're just dumped there. Every one of these need to go into one of these, a project folder that I have to organize. I'm not going to do that right now. But, so I have, if I make any animated GIFs, I put them in there. If there is any animated props, okay, that I'm going to make, I'm going to put them in there, okay. I want to learn how to make props, but I haven't gotten there yet, but there's a folder for it. What do I have in here? Oh, these are some assets that I had from other programs or things that I bought that I might want to use for something, and this was for gaming, okay? But I figured there might be a time where I might want to put them, so I put them in a production if I thought I needed it, if it would work. And so I just brought it in here. And then this is just a little PowerPoint that I made for showcasing some characters that I have for, you know, sometimes, you know, some of my friends, artist friends, I'm always offering my services to them to kind of make them look better. Any audio that I do real quickly, you know, to test something, I'm going to save in here. Animated GIFs, okay. Most important, okay, is your animation projects, okay. So I have all my business project for a business, okay. Videos from the Heart, that's me. Tommy's Hot Dogs, my blues friend. This bird sanctuary, Noah's Little Ark is the sanctuary for lions. Band, Drunken Clams. So I've made Barron's Art Center. These are all the contests that I entered over the years. And then here's projects that are my fun stuff. And then here's another one for Videos from the Heart. Okay, so I actually have two. But this one is for business, okay? And this one is for like just fun stuff that I'm testing. So I have, I've created all these folders, but there is, like here, Videos from the Heart, okay? So I was working on a cast of characters right here for Little Mates. I was actually thinking about entering this into the contest, but you're seeing all these folders here. So let me go back and show you this. So what I do is when I'm thinking of a project, right, I want to go here, and this is an animation project setup, okay? I click on it and I have a Affinity photo template already designed by 3840, okay? I have an audio project for Sony Vegas already set up, ready to go. I have my storyboard software and a file ready to go. And then these two things right here are Affinity Designer or Draw Plus. I can open them up in either one of those, okay? So then I have these folders for dump storyboards, images for the storyboards. If I have to show a client the storyboard, take his script and storyboard it, I'm going to save all the images and stuff that I make in there. Anything I render in video for the project is going to be here. All the design stuff is going to be Affinity Design folders or Affinity Designer or Affinity Photo. Like here is going to be in here, but then all the assets I usually put in here. And then any audio that I do here. So I'm all organized for that project, okay? And what I do is I just come in here. I would copy this, right? I would just copy it. And I want to show you this because this is very important to be organized, okay? I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go in my projects. And let's just say for fun, I'm going to put it in HOOT, okay? So I have HOOT. I have a couple different things for him. New Orleans, he can dance. Maybe I'm going to do a new one about, I'm going to copy it, paste it in. Okay, so now I got a new one. Now I got to call it what the project's going to be. So I got to think of Project HOOT. I'm going to call it Project HOOT. And let's see what we were going to work on. We were going to work on an anagram that was, oh, what was it? Thumbprints. Okay. All right. So now when I go to do work on this thumbprints for HOOT, okay, even though this is the contest entry, there's some fun things, some fun words you can get out of thumbprints that I was going to have fun with HOOT is. Everything is ready here. I would go here, okay, and I would change the name that I want to know that this is a 38 by 40, okay. I'm going to name it Thumbprints. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to name it Thumbprints. I'm going to go in here, and I got to be careful about this. This is just a little extra file that Sony Vegas uses. And I'm going to call it Thumbprints. I'm going to go here, my storyboard. I'm going to rename it Thumbprints. So when I come in here to work on this with a storyboard, I'm going to open this up. It's already saved for me with that name. Okay, it's going to go right back into this file. What else? Okay, I'm not going to do these right now because I'm not using. I wouldn't use this. I could actually delete one of. I can actually delete one of them. So I have a template for 1920 by 1080 and the 3840 by 2160. I can use either one of those if I want it. And then all these folders are ready. The folder's ready for me to work on this project. Okay, so it's really important to be organized. And when I first started, I had to learn to get organized because it just made your workflow a lot easier when you knew where everything was and you're ready to go. So I already have, now I know that my project, and I also, anything that I buy, all my purchases that I've bought from, David Arandle, Characters, Gary Pye, Warwick Hayes, these guys, I've purchased things off here from their websites or different sites that are not part of the marketplace content, and where I could where the software is loading it. After I purchase it off of Reallusion, it just, I could download it and it goes right into the software. So these are things that places where I put them. Okay, so I have characters, I have animated effects that I've purchased, music. I got a lot of stuff. Okay, so I keep, now see, this is this has to go into to the scene. So some of this stuff has to be organized, but anyway, I have a folder for it. Okay. All right. So let's go back in here. Let's start to animate. Okay. So be organized. Think about what you're working on. Okay. And get it all in one spot, and then you're ready to fly. I don't think anybody talks about that enough. In all the tutorials that I watch, nobody covers like how you should probably set up a filing system so that you can work efficiently because you're going to have audio, you're going to have props, you're going to have sound effects. I have a sound effects folder in my music. Okay, so I have an animation folder in my music, and I have sound effects in here. Okay, so stuff that I've downloaded, purchased, or whatever is in there that I use. And so I typically don't put the sound effects into the folder that I'm working on unless it's really something particularly just for that. Otherwise, I just want to keep them in my assortment of sound effects. Okay, all right, so remember I brought in those words. Right now what I want to do is, he's not, my Hoot little character right here, he's coming in. I'm not crazy about the walk cycle that I used for him. Okay, so I'm going to change it, and I'm going to bring up the timeline. And what I've done here is, you see these two little red lines, these two little red arrows, right? That's going to put an end mark here and at the beginning, so that when I play this, it's only going to go up to here and loop back.
Hi,
okay?
everybody.
And that's going to keep me in that margin of time space on this timeline that I'm just focusing, narrow focused, laser focused my attention on right into this timeline. Okay? This area. I don't need to have it any bigger because everything that I need is like right in here. Okay, so I want to change his walk cycle. This walk cycle that he had, I moved over. Well, why is he still doing that walk cycle? He shouldn't be doing that. I moved that. Is it FDX? Oh, here, see? I moved that. That was there. So watch, I'm going to move this just in case I want it back. But he was moving. All right, I'm going to put a different one in here. Walk cycle in this motion. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here because I want to put it here. I want him to start coming in as soon as the video starts, and then he's going to end up here, and then he's going to go away, and the front Hoot is going to come in. Okay, so I need a different walk cycle. So one of the cool things about Cartoon Animator right now is that you can search, right? So I'm going to go in animation, I'm going to go in the template, and I can type in here walk, and it's going to give me all the walk cycles. Now I'm just going to blow this up a little bit here. Again, you got to let's see. Does he have a walk cycle in the action menu? No, he doesn't. I need something that's a little bit more. These are 3D. I don't want those. That's it? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. A sneaky walk? No. Walk, walk. Let's try this one. Okay? Let me try that one. See what happens. Yeah, that one's a little bit better. And then I don't have that FD, right? I didn't want the FD with him. Okay, so I'm going to take these two out. I'm taking them out, okay? I don't need them. So I want him to start in here, and when he gets to here, he is going to become invisible when he gets here. So I want those two. He's going to be invisible in here because now Hoot's going to come in. I got Hoot front on my timeline and Hoot side. And I have those two open because I can open them up from here. So if I close this timeline, say, let me close this right now and show you something cool, okay? So if I want to work on just Hoot, right, I'm going to hit, I want his front and I want Hoot's side, okay? Those are my actors, okay? So now I want the transform. I want the motion, and I have his face. Hoot front is where the vocal is. Okay, so now I can have this. Timing is going to be the last thing that I do, and I'm not going to do that in this video. That's going to be the last. One of the last things that I do is animate him up there. Okay, so I like this. So when he gets to here, I need Hoot side to walk from here to once he goes invisible there. Okay, so I have to extend this walk. Now, do I want to just give it to him again? I sometimes when you pull it, I'm going to just put it in another one. Hold on. Okay, yeah, because he's doing a nice little, slow little tooting.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, all right. So, what's happening here when he's on here, right? We don't see his feet, right? So I got to move him up. I got to keep on moving him up. So I see his feet here, right? I want to move him up a little bit. We still want to see a little bit of his little feeties, right? Moving. Then we're going to go down a little bit because his foot's got to get down on there. We want to see the foot, right? So what? Now see how I moved him? See on this transform line, we're getting another keyframe because I changed him. I changed his position. I rotated him a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to go a little bit further, see what happens. See, we see his feet, but we're still not seeing his feet, right? So I still got to bring him up. Now I can use my keys, my arrow keys to bring him up and then keep him down, right? And then we got to go here. Oh, see? Let's bring him back up. Uh-oh. Okay. So let's see. Let me see what happens here. Let's go. See his feet, see his feet, see his feet.
Hi, everybody.
And then he went down too low, right? So right here, when he was right here, before he disappeared, we have to get him. I'm going to put him there. Right? Okay. All right, let's see. So go back. See, now when I do this, sometimes when you don't have these little markers here, you like force yourself that when you don't want to, is like to watch it over again. So this will just loop for me right there.
Hi, everybody.
Nope, he slides in, right? Okay, so I got to cut this walk cycle off a little bit. So these all have to be timed right up with each other, okay? So HOOT front visible, okay? HOOT comes in here, and he's a little bigger, isn't he? Oh, that's right, I had to make him a little bit bigger. So when HOOT gets here, when he gets here, I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. Because he's coming in, right? I'm going to move him here. I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. He's growing a little bit while he's getting there, right? I'm going to take this one out. And then this one, he's going to be right there. And he's going to be bigger. Okay? So it doesn't look like such a jump. Let's see what that looks like. See, getting a little bigger.
Hi, everybody. It's me.
All right, so that's still not smooth. Okay, so let's see. What we're going to do is make this just a little bit bigger so I can see these markings right here. Where are we? Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so that's when he comes visible. That's when he needs to not be visible, right? And then we have to cut that. We don't have to worry about that walk cycle. And then he has to be here, right on top of that. Let's see if that works. Hold on. Here it comes.
Hi, everybody. It's me. Who?
Okay, so I'm going to animate him a little bit more later, but I just wanted to show you how when you're going to work on something, how to streamline your focus using these little red little arrows, okay? Like just stay in that, laser focus your attention just in that one little area of the timeline. Okay, so I'm going to move this down a little bit, and we're going to go to the next part we're going to focus on. So I'm going to close HOOT out, and I'm going to get back and tighten that up a little later. Okay, we are going to let this rock.
Hi everybody, it's me, Hoop. Does your children's lesson modules need a little pizzazz and sparkle?
Okay, see when he said lessons modules? Okay, so I'm going to go back. So I know it's right around here. So I'm going to bring this in here. I'm going to bring this in here because I'm going to time those words coming in. Okay?
And sparkle? We hear it.
Nope, I missed it, didn't I?
Modules need a little pizzazz.
Nope, I still missed it. Come on, Renee.
Children's lesson mod.
It's right there, isn't it? Okay. All right, so I want HOOT front because I want this voice clip. But I don't need any of this because I'm not animating him yet, okay? So I need to bring in the two words, lessons. I'm going to bring them in as props. Oh, why did I do that? Where am I? Okay. I'm going to bring this in. Static image. Okay, I don't know where that's going to go. I think maybe we'll put it here. Oh, how about over the thing? Let's see. We might make something fun with that. Okay, so now this is on my timeline. I transform it. Whenever you see one of these the lines, and that means you move something and it's not where it's going to be in the beginning. Okay, so let's get it down. We're going to take this. See, it's here first, and then it goes there. Okay, we want to make it there. So now that goes away. Okay, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it till I get here. So I'm going to let it play.
Does your children?
And then I'm going to turn it on. So now in my visible, I know it's off, and I don't want it to come on until he says lesson. Okay, let's see.
Does your children's lesson?
Lesson, okay. Modules. So the next one is going to be modules, right? So let's go get it. Modules. Now you see how this is underneath that, okay? It's on a Z. I'm looking at, if I highlight this, this is telling me that it's on the Z, 5.0 on the Z. Okay, so I need this on 6 to be over that, don't I? Okay. Oh, no, that was 5. I hit the wrong one, sorry. And here's the modules. You got to have it. We're going to put that on 6. Now it's over it. Now, I could do this. Let me go here. Okay, so that's the puzzle. This is the module. Let's transform it. We need it to be there in the beginning. Okay. We need it for it not to be visible, and then we want it to be visible when the lessons come in. Module, so here. And then that's going to be, oh, I did the numbers. I did the wrong one. Modules. We don't want that to be visible until we get here with lesson. Okay, and now that's moving in. So where do I want that? I could keep it down here. I can keep, hold on. Let's see what that does. Okay, so they come in and then they need to be out. And then that fireworks comes in, right? Hold on, go to the fireworks and the radiant. We just want to see when they come on, okay? Visible. Oval orange I don't need. Okay.
Does your children's lesson modules need a little pizzazz and sparkle?
Okay, so then they're going to go out right there. When that... So I want these to exit with a little fun move. So let's do a jump and whirl. That should be fun, right? So I'm going to do module. Make sure I'm on module. Okay, that's highlighted. We're going to do a jump and whirl. Let's move this back. Let's see what we feel like it's from the beginning.
Hi everybody, it's me, HOOT. Does your children's lesson modules need a little pizzazz and sparkle? We here at Videos from the...
Okay, so Videos from the Heart has to come in and do something fun, right? So you can pick what you want highlighted over here when you want to work on something, and then they'll just, that one thing will come up. So we need the transform, we need a motion we're going to give it, we need the visible. So it's invisible in the beginning, then here it comes in. So when it comes in, how do we want to come in? We need an entrance, right? So we're going to go here and let's see elastic motion for something to come in. I'm just going to pick one now, but we could change this later. Shrink, whirl. Let's whirly turly. Let's do a whirly turly. Okay?
We here at Videos...
Yeah, it'll be a whirly turly. I might change it later, but just to let you know that's how it's going. Okay, so it's going to whirly twirl. So let's go. Let's see what it looks like.
Hi everybody, it's me, HOOT. Does your children's lesson modules need a little pizzazz and sparkle? We here at Videos from the Heart...
Okay. All right. Okay, so that's how you bring things in. That's how you stay in focus. Just take one tiny little thing at a time, bird by bird, and walk yourself through what you want to happen. And what I did last night, last thing I did before ready to go to my work in progress video was make sure that I had everything timed when I wanted it to come in. And now I just have to apply the animations. Now I just have to sharpen it up. So now I don't want to, all these little cute little characters are going to come in, okay? And I'm going to do little animations. I got to do their faces. And I have to, it's all going to be on this timeline. I got to time him. I want him to look at him and him to look at him. And this one's going to, do different stuff. And then the last thing I'm going to do is HOOT, and I'm going to do lip sync him and his lip sync and his animations, okay? And that's about it. I'm hoping that, I try to enter every year. I haven't won anything yet, but I participate because actually, you know what, I love the challenge. This was actually a challenge for me to sit down and say, okay, we're going to do something. And it wasn't actually until I saw the Make Me an Actor, I was just, I have to have it. So I pulled out the credit card and I told my husband, I'm buying this. And what do you need that for? I said, I need it. I have ideas. So make me an actor if you have ideas, okay? You can start bringing your own ideas to life. Cartoon Animator 5 is worth the purchase, okay? I've had it since it was 2, 3, 4, and now with the spring bones. And I'm going to try to do some springs too with something in here. I'm going to try to use some of the springs in 5. But that's it. This is the video, and it's going to come out. It's got a couple more. I'm going to show you the animation, how we go to storyboard, script to storyboard to animation in a 14-day turnaround. And I give you my phone number to give me a call if you wanted to make something fun. Then this is going to be on here, and then I got to animate all these little guys, you know, moving off the screen, and that's going to be the end of the video. There's something's going to happen there. So it's just a fun little thing, and I didn't start it until the 9th. I bought the software. I think it was actually the 10th. I bought the software, learned how to make the character, and then I said, well, let me just do a business one. So that's it. This is going to be my business entry into the 2000, my little Thumbprint Characters 2023 animation at work. It's a lot of fun. Whether you're doing it for work, whether you're doing it to bring an idea together, you know, tell a story. You know, there's you know, you can bring things in, bring them out. You know, there's just so much you can do with it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and me and Hoot wish us some luck, and our new Thumbprint Characters luck in the contest. Hopefully we will maybe we'll win. Let's win. Okay, ciao.